Yeah, that's their decision to make. The moment we heard about even the inquiry of having tests for Congress, we acted and ensured that we would provide those tests if needed and wanted. And, it's the decision of Leader McConnell and Speaker Pelosi to decline that offer.
Yeah, so obviously the pushback on that, did that come as a surprise to the White House? Did you guys get a heads up from there? Did Leader McConnell say that this is something that we appreciate in advance, or was when the statement came out of the White House?
No, what happened is the attending physician was out there saying that the testing didn't exist, but we had no inquiry in advance outside of the headlines coming out that was even a request. So the moment we learned from the media that this was a request and something that had been discussed by the attending physician, we immediately acted and said we'll provide those tests.
A follow-up for you. Obviously, we saw the news that Dr. Fauci will not be going up to the House subcommittee to testify. I'm just curious, is there a double standard to send him up to the Senate Republicans, though? Why the difference between the House?
No, so there's some differences. First, let me back up and explain that, we act in good faith. We want to provide these witnesses when they are requested. We want to make sure that it is, one, the right timing, because these experts do have day jobs that are very important to keeping the American people safe and healthy. In addition to that, we want to make sure that the subject matter of the hearing matches the individual they're requesting. Of course, we have different subject matter experts in all of our coronavirus task force briefings, and in this case, Chairman Lowy had reached out to the Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, who I just spoke with before coming out here, and he had asked repeatedly for what the subject matter of this hearing would be, and it was a subcommittee hearing on HHS funding, which would have been a bit peculiar to have the NIH director who's under Secretary Azar and HHS. Exactly. So that's what happened there. There was never any clarity given forth as to what the actual subject matter of this hearing would be. And also, I would note the difference with the Senate and the House. The Senate has put into place measures to protect those who are coming to witness with social distancing, and they've thought that process through. We haven't gotten that guidance from the House yet as to their plan, so we would encourage them to do that so that we can move forward.
On Operation Warp Speed, do you have a sense of what that may cost and what, in the outcome, if there is a successful vaccine that comes to pass, how that would be distributed? Would that be for every American? Would it be for those who are in high risk groups? Any sense of that?
I think that's getting a little ahead of the situation right now, because right now our focus, one, before deciding how to deploy vaccines, is to ensure that every single measure is put in place to get a vaccine as fast as humanly possible. We were encouraged that, as Dr. Fauci said, that this vaccine had gotten to phase 1 clinical trial faster than he'd ever seen before. But that's the kind of speed we want to see toward getting a final vaccine. And this president is leading on that measure, and I have nothing to report on cost or how vaccines would be deployed when we do in fact get that vaccine.
Any update on the Kim Jong-un situation with any outreach from the U.S. government to North Korea?
So no update on that now. The president, of course, is following that closely.
Kayleigh, just to follow up first on the Fauci testifying.
Mm-hmm.
Does the administration expect to allow Dr. Fauci to go forward and testify before any other House committees before the House if they are continuing to investigate coronavirus at a future date, or any other officials who want to testify there?
Well, he is testifying, of course, in about a week and a half in front of the Senate, so he'll be asked questions from senators in both parties. So he is going to be out there. So this notion that the White House is blocking Dr. Fauci just doesn't bear in truth. And I would remind you, Dr. Fauci, by the way, is the one who said that this administration has done a rather extraordinary job, and he said something to the effect of he couldn't imagine anyone doing this better. So Dr. Fauci has been someone who's been very supportive of this administration.
But the Democratic-led House is going to continue investigating the administration's handling of coronavirus. Does the White House plan to allow other administration officials, including Dr. Fauci,
Absolutely.
to testify in the future?
We're working in good faith. And yes, we want to work with the House to ensure that they do get the witnesses that they're asking for, but these need to be requests that make sense and not publicity stunts, which is what this was, as it was leaked that we were blocking Dr. Fauci, which just simply was not the case. We would encourage we'd encourage the chairwoman to elucidate exactly what that hearing would look like. And if it's a hearing about HHS, NIH is an entirely different realm, but perhaps we can explain that to the chairwoman.
Just on this weekend and what the president's doing at Camp David, can you offer any more details about who he's meeting with, what he's doing, and also is the president going to be golfing at any point this
He's speaking, this is a working weekend. He's speaking with foreign leaders. In addition to that, he has Larry Kudlow there. So he's taking many meetings about the next economic measures that we'll see coming forward. The president will be back tomorrow for a Fox town hall between 7 and 9. And we hope you'll all tune in because you're sure to hear a lot more from him then. But I've got to head out. So thank you guys very much. It's a working weekend.